to Super News, the best secondhand news site around. It's your home to hear about all of the important news in one place. I'm Jaden. He's
Troy. The breaking news today is CNN and USA Today have just announced that there will be meetings with the North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un and the U.S. president. And they intend to press for the release of 3 imprisoned Americans who are currently trapped in North Korean prisons. The president, as well as much of the world, also intends to convince Kim to denuclearize the country of North Korea. It is believed that Kim Jong-un wishes to convince the U.S. government to withdraw troops from South Korea. As of this moment, Mr. Trump declares that he will be against removing soldiers. It is important to note that the obvious contradiction, where Trump supported the removal of troops prior to mentioning of the meetings, it is unclear what Mr. Trump's intentions are. Super News will keep you informed as the story develops.
all right. Now here comes a story from WCVB Boston. Apparently, Hawaii has stopped the sale of sunscreen that have contained certain chemicals that prevent coral reefs and algae from growing. The sunscreens are still allowed to be purchased, but you have to have a prescription. Every other consumer will have to either wait until sunscreen manufacturers change their formulas, or they will have to mail order the sunscreen from another state. The state hopes that this move will decrease the 14,000 tons of sunscreen that end up in coral reefs annually.
According to the Bloomberg, Nestle paid $7.1 billion just to be able to sell Starbucks products. In the deal, Nestle acquired no physical assets. They only gained the right to market products with the Starbucks brand. People hope that this ability to sell one of the biggest brand names in the coffee will revitalize the stagnant company, since sales have been slowing each year. Last year was a 20-year low growth. Things are finally starting to look up for the century-old company.
According to USA Today, a United Nations agency declared that the amount of carbon dioxide in our atmosphere is at an 800,000 year high. The amount of carbon dioxide seems to have grown 30% since the 1958 study from the Mauna Loa Observatory started. The article states that prior to the Industrial Revolution, carbon dioxide levels had never grown to the crazy level it has reached now. Scientists claim that 63% of the global warming trend can be attributed to this greenhouse gas. Hopefully, humanity can find a solution before it's too late.
According to the Washington Post, there's a major emergency evacuation in Hawaii at the moment. Magma has erupted from the earth and multiple earthquakes are occurring. The strongest earthquake has registered at 6.9 magnitudes on the Richter scale. There are still at risk of experiencing more earthquakes. The magma is actually spewing out of the earth and traveling 330 feet up into the air. The magma flows have caused many roads and homes to be destroyed. Sulfur dioxide is escaping of the same fissures the magma is escaping. Much of the Big Island is covered in the toxic gas. Many of the people are liable to die of gas poisoning. Residents of the communities affected are trying to get away from the magma and the toxic gas. For those who are trapped due to destroyed roads, emergency responders are trying to get them to safety. For those still trapped, we advise you to stay determined. Someone is coming for you.
Okay, on another note, the price of vanilla has soared to record highs. For the same weight, it is actually worth more than silver. This makes the ice cream makers in the UK wary of serving vanilla to consumers because the ingredient costs so more. Some have actually stopped. The reason it's so expensive is because Madagascar, the place where 3/4 of the world's vanilla is produced, recently experienced a cyclone. Until the supply of vanilla can be restored to its normal amount, it will continue to remain quite pricey.
Mhm. The next story might bring a tear to your eye. A boy regained consciousness after his 5 other boys. Oh my God. The next story might bring a tear to your eye. A boy regained consciousness after his parents had signed papers to have his organs donated since the boy matched to be donor with 5 other boys. The doctors were performing the last test to determine brain death. When the 13-year-old boy's vital signs spiked, the mother was ecstatic to find that her boy had regained awareness. The boy had a utility trailer fall on top of him. It fractured his skull, and he had major bleeding in the brain. The mother attributed this miracle to God. Now his recovery is going along nicely. He can walk, he can talk, he can even do math. All is not perfect. The boy will have nerve pain and seizures for the rest of his entire life. Even with the downsides, his family is very thankful that he is alive.
A story to end on. Lyme disease is on the rise again. Its vectors are ticks. Since there are some woods in the local area, it would be very viable that people in this area could get it. Symptoms include fever, fatigue, rash, and heart disease in the worst cases. So make sure to look at your skin and make sure you don't have any ticks on you when you come out of the woods.
And this is Troy, and that's Jaden. We're signing off Super News.
See ya.